Welcome to your past life karma. What are the things that you still owe from the past, and what are the effects of it in your present life? All right. There will also be an extended, which will be available in my Patreon. The link is down there below. Forgiveness. You lived as a musician ever since you were young. This is the only thing that you know how to make a living. You've been looking for your family because you've lived on your own. You were an orphan. Somebody only raised you. Okay, probably that you were raised by monks or nuns. Okay, probably that you're also there's also one of your lifetimes you were a like a Native American. All right. You do have a lot of fears. You see, the thing here is sorry. All right. You see, the thing here is you went to travel on your own to seek for your dreams, for your passion, and you keep on traveling, transferring from one place to another, traveling by foot, either by land, by water, okay? And along the way, you've had a baby, okay? So probably that you were like a woman in your past life. You lived in Greece. Your love life is very complicated as you ended up with somebody who is just like your karmic relationship. Somebody who just gave you a lesson. This person only used you, and at the same time, while you are trying to make a living or while you are trying to work for your baby, okay, because this person just left you just when you needed them the most, and this person just vanished. Now, all the while that while you are trying to make a living, you were accused of something that you did not even do. Somebody accused you of stealing their money, and so you were incarcerated. And while you were there, you wrote a journal or it's like you wrote your own life story. All right. You've had a baby and you made a promise that you're going to come back and, you know, see them once again. But unfortunately, you did not really make it through. So there was an unfinished business, all right? If in this lifetime you're having a hard time getting along with your kids, you don't want to have kids, or you don't really get along well with your children, you don't like children, or so there's an issue about children that I feel like this is the reason why you've been having some issues. It's because that you left your child in the past. You promised to come back but you never made it through. You've also had a very poor health because obviously, when you're incarcerated, it's I mean, they're not going to be feeding you all the nutrients and stuff. They only feed you the sourdough, okay, or the like the day old bread, and that's the only thing that you were eating. And for how many years you got incarcerated over something that you did not even do. Probably also that you were very sensitive in this lifetime, but every time that somebody points their finger at you and they try to accuse you like, oh, you did this, oh, you did that, you're very sensitive about that, and you jump, like right onto that person and say that's not true, prove it. Okay. You're very sensitive every time that somebody tells you or accuses you of something. So you do have most of the time you will always cross paths with a narcissist because narcissist loves to finger point, create some stories, gaslight you, do some flying monkeys and everything else because it is what triggers you. All right. You're very compassionate, and it's like there's this thing about having a baby. Like probably that, whoever that can resonate with this, either you don't want to have a baby, you've had numerous miscarriages, or even if you have a child right now, you don't really get along well. Okay. Or you've lost the care of your baby, you've lost the custody of your baby. So you have an unfinished business. Okay. You did not even finish caring for someone or for your baby in the past. So right now, if in this lifetime, every time that you care for someone, you always lose them. Every time that you give your heart into, you lose them. Probably the first people, okay, or the first, yeah, the first people that you've lost are actually your parents or your family. That you've lost them at a very early age, or they cannot really love you. They always defy you, and especially if you're a Capricorn, okay, they always, you're always the invisible family member that you only matter, when you can contribute or give something to them, or you only exist when they needed you. Or otherwise, you always feel so responsible for other people, even if it's not really your responsibility. Okay. So in your second lifetime, you're very well up. You served as a knight or a soldier in Asia. Okay. You're also a very spiritual mother. Yeah. And again, you left. In your second lifetime, you left your kids again because you see, you have to serve the government, but you were caught up by the enemies. Okay. You were caught up again by the enemies. This is in your second lifetime. You were caught up by your enemies, and it seems like you've had two kids, all right? And you've always wanted to see them, to let them know. You've wrote numerous letters, but whoever cared for them never really gave your letters to your kids. For them, you're just like you're gone. You're good as dead. Okay. You never heard from your kids again. All right. And in your second lifetime, you're an Atlantean. You've had a spouse. You're like scientists. You're inventors. You're very good in math and calculations. You're very good in approximation. Could be your engineer, architect, mathematician, and anything that has something to do with numbers. You're very good at it. Okay, you're very good in calculation. You're like a very good asset when it comes to your company. You have a very good, um again, yeah. And then in this lifetime, you as a father, okay, either your father or you as a father, all right, you were accused again of stealing food or poisoning food because you're an inventor, okay, and probably that you have invented something in the past when you were an Atlantean, and a lot of people got poisoned or got sick, which is, probably that at that point, at that time, it was only like a diarrhea or something like that, and they thought that you've already poisoned them. So everybody accused you of something, and again, you got incarcerated. Communal living, yeah. Now, in this lifetime, you've had several lifetimes. Actually, you've had several existence. You were a doctor, you're an herbalist, you're a healer, but you lived in a very, very dark kind of living. You lived in a communal, okay? And you had a very bad health, even though that you're a healer. Um, you made a promise, all right, that you are going to be helping out other people. You're going to be helping them despite of your situation. But unfortunately, your life ended early. So it's already out of your control. But there was like a promise that hasn't been fulfilled that you want to take care of other people. So, in this past life, every time that you care for someone, you always lost them. That's why there was once in your lifetime, okay, in your past life, that you were an orphan. Because every time that you care for somebody, either they leave you, they walk away from you, they don't really value you, and the more you care for them, that? Like, is it like a big scene, or is it like a okay? The truth and discernment, mother, polyamorous, sacrificial. You see, the thing here is, especially if you have North Node in Virgo. Virgo, Pisces, something like that. If you have a north node in that, pay attention to your birth chart. What is your north and south node? That is where you're gonna know like what is your real purpose in this lifetime. So poverty. It's like ever since you were young, you know, like you've gone through such difficulties, probably even when you were young, you already have to work, like you're always a victim of injustice. You always have to work for whatever it is that you want, unlike your siblings, that your aunts or your uncles, they always give them, or could be your father or your mom, they always give them what they want. But for you, it's like you have to work hard, sell lemonade, or sell something, or do something, or cut the grass of the, or clean the yard of somebody. And you feel like every time that there is something that you want, you always have to work hard for that. But with your siblings, they can just like simply get what they want and all the love and attention of your parents. And you feel like, why is that? Yeah, see? You're always being bullied. All right. You're always being bullied. You always suffer from that. In one of your lifetimes, you're like an illegitimate child of a royalty. Okay. You're you can also be a teacher, a math teacher. Okay. When you were like a witch, because you have witch blood, or you are a direct descendant of a like a witch, you were offered as a sacrifice. Okay, you've traveled, which is I already told you you've traveled. Use of technology, which is when you were an Atlantean, murdered. You were accused of something before, infection, health issues, asteroid air disaster, explorer. If in this lifetime you're having a hard time being committed, looking for a commitment, having a commitment, or being with somebody, it is because that you are supposed to complete that adventure. All right, the adventure that you have missed in your past life. This adventure that you're supposed to be completing, but you did not really manage to complete because you're always feeling so responsible of other people. You always care for them; they never cared for you, and it seems like you were always accused of something that you did not even do because you're too nice. Now, the lesson in this lifetime, you have to learn how to say no. You need to draw the line when you care too much for someone. It's okay for them to care too much for you, but you always have to maintain that balance or that level. You always have to maintain that not too much. All right. If there is something that you want to Yeah, if there is something that you need to do right now in order for you to overcome your fears, your phobias, and your karmic lessons, you should have learned to love you. Yeah, you should have learned to love yourself first because you were an orphan. And you've always, before in one of your lifetimes, okay, you were an orphan. You've always wanted how to have a family of your own. You've always dreamed of having a father, a mother, siblings, like fighting and having all those fun while you're eating. You're always even looking at your neighbor, like they have mother and father, the two kids. Even if their meal is so simple, even if they're just sharing one bread, they're happy. But for you, it's like You're just like living on the sidewalk, you're living outside the street, cradling your instrument, and you're just waiting for whatever other people would give you. And you just want to feel, you just want, it's like you just wanted to feel how it feels to be cared for, to be loved when somebody is like worried about you, when somebody's waiting for you at home, when somebody cooks your food. And even until now, even if you're like already married, let's say, for example, to some of you, you're going to go home and you're the one who still have to do everything. All right. So you feel like, why is it that I can't get the love that I wanted? Why is it that I keep on giving and giving and giving? I've given all my salary, I've given all my savings, I've given all my life, my time, everything. I've given car to my boyfriend. I've already given them iPhone or a latest MacBook to my girlfriend or something like that. I give them everything. But still, why do they always leave me for someone? Why do they always cheat on me? Why am I always being finger pointed at, or why am I always being accused of something I did not even do? Like, not in my dreams. Like, what are my lessons? Okay. Like, those are the things that you are questioning yourself for so long now. Why is it that every time I fall in love, they always leave me? Why? Because you have already forgotten how it is to love yourself. You have already, like, you don't know how to draw the line. You don't really teach people how to respect you. You feel like by giving and giving and giving, you're expecting that they will be praising you. You feel like they're going to be appreciating you more, but no. Know that in this time, or know that in this lifetime, when you give too much to some people, they don't see your kindness as an asset. They don't see it as strength. They see it as weakness. And they feel like, oh, collective is so weak. Collective is so generous. Collective is so needy. Let's take advantage of collective. Okay. What you don't know that when because you have a heart of gold. Okay. You have a very big heart. Even if it's going to be your last meal, your last food that you're about to put into your mouth, and you see someone who is hungry, you're going to be giving it to them. That is how generous you are. That is how good of a person you are. But those people that you are giving yourself to, those people that you make your sacrifices, those people that you love, that you care for, that you protect, did not even deserve an ounce of your love and energy. This is what you are failing to see. That the power of self discernment, the power of the sense of discernment, or your sense of judgment. When you see someone who is impoverished, when you see someone who is hungry, you just feel like, oh my God, I feel, my heart is breaking that you don't have food. Why do you think they don't have anything to eat? Because they're not really looking for ways on how to feed themselves. They expect other people to feel sorry for them and feed them. You have to stop cutting across someone else's karma. People are actually in their certain situation or in their certain lives for a reason. Let's say, for example, somebody is too impoverished. Somebody is like, they're stuck in poverty. Why do you think is that? Because there is a karma that they have to pay from their lifetime, but you don't really have to cut across them because you are not teaching them how to grow up. You are teaching them how to be codependent and to rely on you and feed from you, like just like a leech. When you already run out of blood and energy and life, then what's next? Nothing. They're just going to leave you empty handed. They're just gonna look back onto you and they're just gonna spat on you. That is what you keep on missing. All right. That is what sorry. That is what you keep on missing in this lifetime. All right. So let's take a look at the extended. What are your future life progression? What how I mean, will you be learning your lesson? Will you finally gonna be learning your lesson this time? And will you be improving? Will your lifetime be changing? So let's see. For the extended, it will be available in my Patreon and the link is down there below. All right. Will you finally be getting out of this lesson? Hangman? Will you be fulfilling your karmic circle, your karmic debts? Will your life be finally changing? The chariot. I'll be drawing more spread, okay, at the extended. And hope to see you there. All right. Anyway, if you want to talk to me live on the phone, live on the calls, just go visit me at my website, sophiaclairvoyant.com. All right. Blessings to you.